Hello, Monsters Abound here, and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 3 in a brand new campaign as Malagor the Dark Omen. He's known by other titles: Malagor the Crowfather, Harbinger of Disaster, Despoiler of the Sacred. To all of humanity, Malagor is the harbinger of the downfall of all they hold dear, vilified by the cult of Sigmar as the epitome of sin due to his many blasphemies. He says some really weird shit to chickens. Like, really weird. A sighting of Malagor, I think it's probably the feathers. He's got some sort of, like, synergy, I guess, with them. I don't know. Anyway, that's the major sin. Sighting of Malagor is the most terrifying portent of all. He is the winged fiend that will rise from the benighted forest and challenge the gods of the old world. He is a devil rendered in woodcut in ancient tomes, kept under lock and key lest the terrible secrets within blast the sanity of any who read them. It's kind of like the old world's Mr. Blobby, isn't he? Just a force of chaos. And fun. And there he is, Malagor Dark Omen, next to Charlie Sheen there, because the naming scheme for this campaign is going to be the hardest partiers. Because, and bear with me for a second, the Beastmen. You may think the Beastmen are like, just want to tear everything down. But no, that's not true. They're just fucking party animals. Think about it. What are they doing? They're finding a base. They're building a big party stone that they want to have a party at. And because they're considerate beings, they go to all of the neighbours nearby, and so that they're not going to be disturbed by all the noise of their rager that they're going to throw, they kill them all. Because they can't be disturbed by the noise if they don't have any heads. You see, that is thinking outside the box, isn't it? That's not going to get the authorities involved. It's going to let them do the things they need to do, like try and reattach people's heads and find out who's been cutting all their heads off. You know, important stuff like that. Well, the Beastmen can just then throw their party without causing any... It's really considerate of them if you think about it. So obviously the Beastmen are just party animals, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to be doing some partying. And of course Charlie Sheen, well, he's certainly done a lot of movies, hasn't he? Yeah. So good. Anyway, so we're going to pop Charlie in Malagor's army. He's going to do a bit of training in there. Good stuff. What Charlie, what are you? You are a strategist. More campaign movement range and battle reinforcement time. I'm going to be honest, looking at you, I wouldn't think you had a strategist's brain, but I stand corrected. Anyway, so the Beastmen, now, victory condition-wise, I've turned on the ultimate crisis. Is this going to fuck me over? Almost certainly. But it should cause some real total mayhem. So, fuck it, let's go for it. So that's what we're doing crisis-wise. As for the Beastmen, well, they work very differently from pretty much any other faction in the game. For one, our units cost no upkeep. Even our giant is completely free. We start off with a giant. That's nice, because I like giants. I think they're... I just think they're neat. So we've got a bunch of different resources. We do use money, but we only really use money for building buildings. And also in the Chaos Gift Shop, which we'll take a look at later. So it is useful, but we don't necessarily need a constant flow of it. So obviously we want some, but it's not... like, we're not going to have to really worry about that too much. We have herdstone shards. Now this is the number of herdstones that we can construct. So when I say that, what I mean is that we can conquer a settlement, slap a herdstone in it. At that point we own that settlement, despite being a horde faction. We own that settlement, and then we can raise the settlements around it again, because we just want to throw a party, and we're going to make sure that no one can complain about the noise. No one's going to be upset by the noise. Not no one can complain. Obviously, that suggests there might be something sinister going on. Nothing could be further from the truth. And that will then generate party points for the herdstone. And then, when we've got enough party points there, we can throw the rager. Everyone has a lovely time. It's plenty of drunken orgies and stuff, I would imagine. I don't know. I don't get invited to parties anymore. Or ever. And I wouldn't really want to go. Parties just seem like a lot of, I don't know, people and effort. the option between going to the party of a lifetime or spending an evening playing video games, and I'm going to be honest, I'm sticking with the video games. But anyway, I imagine that parties are, you know, probably full of drunken people having sex or something, whatever. We've also got potentially. So once we've done that, that will generate these marks of ruination. Marks of ruination determine what we can spend our dread in to upgrade we can get more army capacity, and also what we can increase the unit capacity for, because we have a set number of particular types of units that we can recruit, and unless we upgrade that with dread, we can't then recruit any more of them. They're free to recruit, they don't cost any upkeep, but we can only have so many of them. With that said, we can always have as many Ungor Spear Herds, Ungor Raiders, and Chaos Warhounds as we want. But as you can see, the Ungor Herds here and the Ungor Spearman Herd are restricted to only 2 for each type of units. However, we can increase that through the rewards of Dread. Now, Dread is generated by fighting battles, sacking settlements, blah, blah, basically doing shit, right? They're party planning points, effectively. And we can then, you know, invite more people to the party. And we do that by spending dread to increase the cap. That means we can then recruit them. However, we also need the building to recruit them. So, for example, if we had, say, enough marks of ruination to increase the capacity for Gorgons, that doesn't mean we can recruit them. We still need the building to be able to recruit them. But if we have the building to recruit them, we get 1 by default. So the unit cap is always 1 for large units and monsters, and 2 for smaller units. And so if you build the building, you do have some units you can recruit, just like we haven't actually upgraded the Ungor Spearmen upkeep cap, but we currently can recruit 2 of them because we have the building. So you need the building, and you also then can upgrade the unit cap to increase the number of units of those type you can recruit. So, all good. The first few types of units have like 2 each. So, for example, if we upgrade this, we get more giants and chaos spawn. But for example, the Blessed-Igors there, we can only increase that by 1 each time, and it will just increase the number of Blessed-Igor units we can recruit by 1. But that costs 500 dread. So that's what we're going to be using dread for. We can also spend dread on other things. So, for example, we have all 3 of the other chaos, the Beastman lords here, and we can recruit those. Now, if the Beastmen lord is their faction is destroyed, we will get them as a lord to recruit in our lord recruitment list. If they're still alive, then we will confederate them. So they'll pop up wherever they may be on the campaign map at that point. We can also increase the cap of our heroes here. So we get Gorballs, Wargors, and Bray Shamans. This is all very useful. Beastmen, before the update, used to be that you would get... You obviously had your sort of cap of 1, right? So you could always recruit a Gorball and a Bray Shaman. And when you built the building in your herds, you could then recruit another one. But it was only an additional 1 per herd you had. So you never had any spare agents, basically. Because you always really wanted a Gorball and a Bray Shaman in your army. And so you never really had a spare. So you never had any agents running around. But now we can increase the cap, and therefore we can then have some, you know, Gorballs running around doing shit. It's good. We also have upgrades here, so we can spend this to increase the level of the Great Herdstone. So this, of course, is the party point, the party HQ, whatever it is. Anyway, it starts off at level 1, and if we want to upgrade it to level 2, then we need to spend some dread on upgrading it. Once we have that upgrade, any new Herdstones, party points, will be... party HQs will be generated at that level. So if we have the level 5 and we take a new one, it'll be level 5. But if we can upgrade them for free, if we had created them beforehand. So if we had a level 1, for example, and we could upgrade it to level 5, we'd need to upgrade it through the levels, but it would be free, and we could do that in 4 turns or whatever it was. We've also got some additional little researchy skill bits here that we can get. So increasing the Lord and Hero recruitment rank up to level 15, which is very nice. New Horde armies are raised for the Horde encampment. This is less useful, to be honest, but the Lord and Hero recruitment definitely is very useful. And of course we have army capacity there, which is useful itself. And then we've got the Chaos Gift Shop. So this is where we can spend some favour to basically get some nice magic items. Some of these are very, 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 very nice. So for example, Banner of Madness, really good. Does like an AoE deep dot effect. The Banner of Gorok is very, very nice. The Mutated Gorgon Hide's quite nice as well. But the real creme de la creme in the Chaos Gift Shop is the Blind Eye of Seeing, because that has a bound spell, Savage Dominion. Now, Savage Dominion summons a Cygor. If you don't know what a Cygor is, it's a big one-eyed beast man, like a giant one-eyed beast man who likes throwing boulders at people. He's basically your artillery unit. Imagine if you could summon artillery, and imagine if every single one of your Bray Shamans, or your sorcerers, or wizards, or whatever, could summon an artillery piece. And then, imagine that this is a spell in the wild spell school of magic, and they could have that spell as well, which means they could summon 2 artillery units in a battle. And imagine that you had like 3 or 4 Bray Shamans that could summon 2 Cygors each. You can effectively create an absolute deluge, an avalanche of boulders raining down upon an enemy army. They do not like that. I do, though. So, the Blind Eye of Seeing is really, really nice. I mean, some of these are quite good. Like, you know, Round, the Champion Essence there, that's quite a nice one. There's all of these items definitely have their uses, right? None of them are bad magic items. So, that's all very nice. Okay. So we start off, as I say, in the marshes of Mad. Oh, I should probably look at what skills. So the Path of the Crowfather. This is Malagor's faction traits, I guess. So dread cost minus 50% for heroes capacity. So we can already have shit tons more heroes than any other Beastman faction, which is really nice. Campaign movement range, again, very nice. Just campaign, you know, it's not particularly interesting, but it's very useful. And then we increase the hero recruit rank +5 for Bray Shamans and Great Bray Shamans. Now that is very useful, because immediately they're going to be far, especially if we can increase their recruit rank anyway. Eventually we could potentially recruit level 20 Bray Shamans, which is kind of mad, but also kind of great. There's Malagor himself. Now, Malagor's skills, he has Something Wicked This Way Comes, which means, in fact, a lot of his skills are quite, like, most characters, they kind of have, like, their skill tree, and that's kind of it. Malagor actually has a whole bunch of shit, which is really, really cool. So he has Something Wicked This Way Comes, Unholy Power, Crowfather, which increases his missile strength by 20% for some reason, Portents of Doom, Nightmarish Cabal, the Mantle of Crows. Now, Malagor can actually do a shit ton of damage. And the way he does this is with Mantle of Crows. So Mantle of Crows is effectively a free dot. And it's a very, very strong one. 12 to 24 damage per second is fucking insane. When you think that in the Chaos Gift Shop, the Aura of Madness here does 8 to 16. So already, that's looking quite nasty. On top of that, he gets Flock of Doom. So we can slap that down at the same time. So you can basically do double Flock of Doom. But wait, there's more. Because he also gets a whole bunch of magic abilities here. So he gets Bestial Surge, Wild Heart, so increases power recharge rate, Life Leeching, increases reserves per second. This isn't going to increase the speed of everyone nearby. Bestial Surge increases a charge bonus. So effectively, if Malagor is casting shit, he's getting more winds of magic, not to mention everyone's moving faster, feeling fresher, and also increasing their charge bonus. Also, he gets Greater Arcane Conduit, which is fucking amazing. So, basically, Malagor is an absolute horror to deal with, which is absolutely fantastic. So, Malagor, really, really good character. I'm not to mention he flies as well, so you know, you can just fly around. So we're going to start. We're going to put our first herdstone in this place, in the sunken Karanak. And if we select it, you can see which settlements around us are counted as like our neighbours, right? So this is these are the ones that are going to generate the party points that we can feed into the herdstone to generate a real fucking rager. So let's start off by getting Malagor and heading straight for this place. It's a horde of zombies to deal with. That's not going to be particularly difficult, but it is the first battle of a brand new campaign. It's got that brand new campaign battle smell, which for the Beastmen is sort of like wet dog, I would imagine. Goats. It's gamey. If you're new to the channel and you're wondering what the hell's going on, I fight the battle, and then I record the replay, and then I slap it in with the rest of the campaign. So basically you're watching what I did previously. This is past Monster Bound, because then I can watch Charlie Sheen go to town on some skeletons, along with our giant. Yeah! Now, the reason that Charlie Sheen and the Giant are going to town and everyone else is just watching is because the Ungors... Now, the Ungors have Stalk, and what that means is that we can hide them. So, we've set them up around the settlement. They're now pushing in to go and grab some of these objectives, completely unopposed. While Charlie Sheen, the Giant, the Harpies, and Malagor smash their way through the front entrance. Basically, they're causing a commotion. This is the distraction. And then the Ungors are going to... I mean, to be fair, the distraction will win the battle, but hey, it's nice to be a little bit sneaky, isn't it? I love this settlement, by the way. It just looks so fucking good. Like, Warhammer 3, they just aced the atmosphere, didn't they? I think their map designs have just got better and better over time. So there comes Flock of Doom. That's going to do 62 to 125 damage per second. That may not seem like a lot, but that spell is very cheap. I think we can get it down to 10 winds of magic. So the distraction is working. That's working like a charm. Meanwhile, the Ungors now moving in to grab these. We're going to do them all at the same time, so our units are now moving into position. There they come. Going to grab them all. There we go. So now we've got 3 objectives slowly falling to us. Skeletons aren't really going to be able to do very much to us, to be brutally honest. In come the Harpies. Now the Harpies, they've got pretty good melee attack and very good weapon strength, which means they can actually, like, chuck out a load of damage. However, they are incredibly fragile. They will die at the drop of a hat. So you do have to be a little bit careful with them, but certainly as, like, you know, raiding flankers, they do very, very well. So that seems to be going over. We go capturing objectives all over the place. I think we've got 3 of them now. Yes. So we've got 8% melee attack increase. Not to mention they've lost their melee defense boost. Oh no, we're still taking that one. So some skeleton warriors attacking the Ungor herds. We have another unit of Ungor herds sweeping around behind the unit to catch them in a little vice there. And that's immediately going to make sad skeletons. And of course, when skeletons are sad, they decide to shuffle off their not immortal coil, but their undead coil? Whatever, they get sad and drop dead again. So they're now sad, so they're dying. Over here, these skeletons are sad, as are the direwolves. Oh, they're zombies. Zombies get sadder than skeletons. And the Harpies just ripping through them. The Harpies with 160 kills. I mean, only 308 damage dealt as gold. Because, of course, zombies are worth bugger all. But still. With the last few units starting to crumble away. Yeah, there we go. Army losses taking effect. These zombies, they're sad because their friends have died. Oh well. Okay. We have Party HQ, so we're going to raise a herdstone. And this, obviously the best... There we go. It's going to be the best party of all times. Definitely nothing will go wrong with this one. Okay. So, we have some options about what we can build. I've also got some mods which have given us some options here. So we now have Korngor, Zangor, Slangor, and Pestigor. Which, I mean, why aren't they called Nurgors? Like Korngor, Zangor, and then Pestigor. Like, one of these things is not like the other. Anyway, so I've got a mod that allows me to build this building. Which, if I do construct it, will allow me to recruit some... Look, the Slangor get throwing axes and javelins. That's quite fun. The Pestigor get shields and no shields. We'll get faction-wide casualty replenishment rate. That's quite nice. Ambush success chance faction-wide. That's nice. Winds of magic power. I mean, that's very nice. Income for... I mean, that's all good. We've also got some base buildings here. We can't build these until we hit level 3 with our herdstones, and we can't get that until we upgrade it. Now, what I like to do is try and get those upgrades ASAP, and the reason for that is because if we upgrade them quickly, we get access to things like giants, chaos spawns, and feral manticores, not to mention the gore herds, harpies, and tuskors. So, we upgrade those quickly. And obviously that's based on the amount of dread that we can accumulate. And it's not tricky to do, but also it lets us then get those slightly higher level buildings. Now, these do cost money, so we do have to be a little bit careful. And we're not going to build anything as of yet, because I want to build heads on spikes, because you can't have a party without decorations, can you? You need some flavour. And in this case... heads on spikes. Good. And that's going to give us some base dread per turn. You can get that up to a whole of beast filth, which is nice. And that is going to give you 100 dread per turn, which is super good. So we're going to build that first off. And also we're going to recruit some units. Now, it makes sense to get the spears. I'm also going to get... you know what? Let's get some doggos. Tempted to get... Do I want the... You know what? We'll get a couple of each. One of each. One of every animal. Perfect. Malagor's leveled up already. I'm going to go Flock of Doom, because upgrading Flock of Doom just seems like a really sensible option. So we'll grab that. And our technology. Now, our technology is a bit weird, as you'd expect, in that we kind of have to unlock it. So we've already got this one unlocked. To unlock these ones along the bottom, we need to do various different things. So win a battle with at least 4 heroes in your army. That's going to give you the Guardian for Lords and Hero, which is really nice, actually. The Strong Survive, have 3 characters, each rank 15. Perform 5, 6, 7. You get the idea. Basically, there's actions here that you have to complete to be able to then start researching. So if we research that, it still takes some time. We'd unlock all of these 4 technologies, and so on and so forth. So we need to do Rituals of Ruin there, which is then unlock Minotaur and Sigor stuff. Win 5 siege battles. We'll give physical resistance, some melee defense. Is mostly, I think, for like monster units. Unnatural Order, win 5 ambush battles. These are buffs for like Gors and Centaurs, and these buffs are sort of general, but also give some buffs for Ungors as well. So we could. Do I do this? You know what? No, I'm going to save my pennies. Now the garrisons for Herdstones are okay, but the sooner we can upgrade them to the next level, the better, because obviously we're going to be out, sort of like trying to pacify the neighbours. So, first things first, I think we're going to go straight for Gal Baraz, though, because Gal Baraz, I believe, is a nice big 6 party points. Straight into your old party pocket there. That'll boost up the Fire Festival, and no mistake. Okay, so Mash has decided to take up a tent. That's fine. I'm not going to let that deter me. I'm going to go straight in there. Yeah, I'm declaring war. Good, my chopper was getting all clean. Well, don't worry. Valiant defeat. That is a lot of Savage Orcs, but I'm feeling good about this. Poor Charlie taking a little bit of damage there, but he's fine. We've also got the doggos attacking the gate on the other side. The reason we're doing that is because doggos are strangely good at smashing open gates. Don't know why. Minotaurs are also very good at smashing open gates. Now, Savage Orcs are... well, they're very offense orientated. They have fuck all defense, fuck all armor, but they tend to have good charge and good melee attack and good weapon strength. So they're not the best at defense like this, and we can use that to our advantage. Also the fact that we've got harpies. Now, we have to be careful because Savage Orcs will mince harpies. They've also got missile units, which means that they can shoot them. And again, pretty much anything will take a harpy down. How's that gate coming, guys? Almost down? Yeah. Doggos, how's your gate coming? Yeah, very, very close to being down. Now, we don't want to send the doggo. If we send the doggos in at this point, they will get absolutely torn to shreds. So, they've knocked the gate down. That's fine. They now go into a waiting pattern. They're in reserve, right? They're just sitting there. They're waiting. They're waiting. We're just moving things into place. We're taking a little bit of fire there. Don't like that, but for the moment, we're okay. We've managed to sort of like lead this unit of Savage Orc Arrow Boys away. So we're going to debuff them with the Enfeebling Foe. That's going to reduce their melee attack and melee defense, which means the Harpies will have a field day. We then send the Manticore in to attack the Savage Orcs here, which means that that unit will not come in and attack these Harpies. Because if they did, basically these Harpies would be fucked. That gate's down. We're going to send the Giant and Charlie through, backed up by some of the Ungor. And the plan here is to create as much of a blob of Savage Orcs as possible. So just helping out the Manticore there. We've managed to chase that unit of Savage Orcs off the battlefield. This is a settlement battle, and they won't be able to retreat from that. So basically, any unit that flees off the battle is as good as dead. So we're going to get those Harpies, just harass these fleeing Savage Orcs, try and get them out of the battle. But Savage Orcs are now starting to sort of like filter in, creating that blob. There's the war boss. We need to kill him. That's Mash One Finger. So far, so good. Now, Giants are really good against characters, because you may have noticed that they have very good melee attack and really good weapon strength. Better melee attack and weapon strength than most characters, particularly at lower levels. So if you get a Giant to pummel a unit like, you know, a low-level war boss, that will work quite well. And we've also got Charlie there wailing away on the war boss as well. We've got a nice big blob of Savage Orcs starting to build up. We've sent some of the Ungor Spearmen up to the wall. Not really an ideal position for them to be in. They will, you know, really not enjoy fighting those Savage Orcs, particularly, especially tired. But we do have our Ungor Raiders just unloading arrows into them. So while the Ungor Spearmen may be losing this battle, the Savage Orcs will ultimately lose the engagement due to the fact that they're getting shot in the back. There's that Flock of Doom just continuing to just eat away at the Greenskins' health. Got the Harpies on standby just in case we need them. The Manticore taking a little bit of damage there, but he's fine. Malagor with 13 kills. Now, that's not a lot of kills, is it? But you can see the damage he's dealt as gold value is about 550. Now, for Savage Orcs, he's done a lot of damage. So while he may not have killed many, he's just done, you know, superficial damage to all of these guys, which makes them easier for us to kill. There's more Flock of Doom. And you'll see, as each cast comes in, Malagor will just get a few more kills. Because suddenly you've got a lot more orcs on low health. The Harpies have come in, and now the Warhounds have also joined the fray. We can use these to hunt down fleeing units, and also to come in and assist with the... Although, having said that, the orcs have routed the vast majority of these boys, are now trying to flee through our Ungor. But obviously that's not working out very well. The war boss is still fighting for the moment. But I think Charlie and the Giants should be able to make short work of him now that he has no friends. And the Harpies and Warhounds can just have a field day. Another little Flock of Doom. Not hitting very many, but Malagor got up to 69, sexiest amount. 79 kills, 86 kills, there we go. Starting to rack up the kills, and that damage dealt as gold value is very, very good. Anything over 1,000 is good, and it's very hard to get over 1,000 in the early game with all the cheap units. But there we go. The settlement garrison has broken, army losses taken effect. Some more party points for us. Right. Well, we truly got the party started, didn't we? Not the easiest fight, but that's fine. Right, we get options. So we can raise a herdstone, but we can't because we don't have a herdstone, because we've used our herdstone to build a herdstone. But once we throw a rager, we'll get our herdstone back. So basically the herdstone is how many herdstones you can have at any single one time, which kind of a weird way of doing it, I guess, but it makes sense. I think it was a limitation of the Total War engine, to be honest, but anyway. We can loot and raise, revel in the destruction, take everything, and then we can raise and advance, take over the and then advance forward. So basically we can get lots of money, increase our bestial rage, but we only get a small amount of additional movement. Alternatively, we can take less money, but we get casualty replenishment rate, we increase our horde growth, and we get chaos undivided corruption, and allows for a mod. Now, I kind of want the money, but the horde growth would be really nice to have. What do I need more of? I'm going to take the money, but it's a tough choice. It was a tough choice. Oh, I forgot I can't encamp. Can I? Nope. Nope. Encampment actually costs some movement. It only costs 10%, but it's still some movement. Right, we got 3 skill points for being daring. I think we're going to get... Right, we're going to go Savage Dominion, because why wouldn't we? Magical Reserves, which is great. And I think we're going to go Fueled by Blood, because Vigor Loss Reduction and Speed Increase is just too good not to have. Meanwhile, Charlie is going to be... he's got the blades, and he was... While you were partying, he was mastering the blades, and then he's a deadly blade. But also, we have access to brands at level 11. That's right. Charlie has his own brand. It can go either way. It does also give us some unit capacity for the various different types of Gors that you can recruit. Alternatively, we can just go for Chaos Undivided to get some more Bestigors. So that's an option. Okay, now we could perform the ritual now. We've got 10 party points, but to get to the next level of ruination, we need at least 24. party points. So we're not going to do any partying just yet. Also, that moving rather than encamping will probably cost me because I now can't recruit more units, which is a bit of a bastard. That's my bad. To be fair, the only thing we could recruit is more spear ungors, bow ungors, or chaos warhounds. So it's not like I'm missing out on anything amazing. Still. To make sure we can always encamp, and then we can move. We're going to go towards Argul Migdal. There we go. And we can recruit now. So, I mean, we've already got 18, so actually it's not really that. We only needed 2, so it didn't actually waste me any time at all, which is fine. Let's go with On Cloven Hoof and Twisted Claw, because that's going to increase our speed. The nice thing about Beastmen is they're all very fast. Like 38 speed. I think are the Gors faster? I feel like I've seen speeds in the 40s, which means that you will close with your enemies very quickly. Also, with taking out one finger, I think we'll have pushed them back for the moment. Also, Scarbrand's around here somewhere, isn't he? I mean, I can see the glooping goo, and I guess we'll be able to see Corn Corruption. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So Scarbrand's around here somewhere, and to be honest, making friends with Scarbrand does seem like a good idea. Oh, talk of the devil.
I am going to quaff your blood and take your skull.
New Charmer. Could we have an aggression pact? 4K. Yeah, no, I'm not paying 4K. Nope. No sorry, Bob. Instead, I'm going to torch this. That's not as much money. I'm just going to raise advance so we get the extra growth, I think. Oh, Gorgazan as well. So we could go and grab Gorgazan. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go and grab Gorgazan. Okay, the reason I wanted to get magical reserves. I mean, I could get gargantuan. Oh, it's 10%. You know what? Fuck it. Let's get gargantuan hooves. You know what they say about big hooves? Big. Well, not shoes. When can we get this? Next turn. Fantastic. We're not going to upgrade you, because that costs a lot of money, and I can use that money to upgrade my herd. Actually, just check. Who are you at war with? You are at war with the Top Knots. Okay, so actually, like, us doing bad things to the Top Knots should be impressing you. You should be going, oh, look at those guys. Holy shit. Okay, we're going to grab this one. It's not going to do, like, loads for us, but it will give us the next building, which we can't afford yet. Unfortunately, it will open up other things as well, so we can get like the den, scorched grass there if we want centaurs, the shaman's flame pit. I normally go for the shaman's flame pit pretty early on, but in this case we don't necessarily need it quite as badly, because obviously we start off with Malagor, so it's not, you know, we have some magical support. However, that will give us a level at the 3rd rank, it will give us Shatterstone, which is so useful for sieges, because it basically just takes down a chunk of wall. So we can just immediately make an entryway for ourselves, which obviously, considering we're probably going to be doing quite a few sieges, as we smash through walls, that is very useful to have. Ah, the ruinous powers take grim pleasure in your endeavours. In their dark mirth, they grant a boon. Which of these gifts will you choose? So we can get a Gorble or a Bray Shaman. Now, we've already got a Gorble. But Gorbles are great. We've already got magical support. I think I'm going to go for the Gorble. Goros, what are you? Disciplined. Oh! Well, hello there. I need a good name for you. Who's a big party animal? Miley Cyrus, right? I can't. Is that how you spell Miley Cyrus? Alright, Miley Cyrus is there. Alright, let's torch Gorgazan. That's going to give us how many party points? Let us raise advance, because that way we can move back. Nope, actually just sit there. That's it. Go into encampment stance. We can move back to the fire festival. Ooh, oh, it's Wurzag. Okay, so we're not at war with Wurzag, so that's not a major issue, but I do have to be careful about where the top knots are recruiting. I think I'd be able to see if they're recruiting a floating village. So they're not doing that, which is fine. So we get some mutually exclusive skills here. Dual Wielder or Dreads and Charms. Now, Dreads and Charms will give us more melee defense. Dual Wielder will give us more weapon strength. But they then lead on to skills which will give sort of monstrous units more armor, or alternatively, more weapon strength. Now, obviously, we're going to go for weapon strength because that just makes sense. However, I also want greater arcane conduits pretty badly. But I think I'm going to upgrade this because it's just such a good spell. And will do oodles of fucking damage, which is just great. It's exactly what we need. So, let's go with... Do I want training? I think I'm just going to go Deadly Blades. Sure. Right, we'll come back to the Fire Festival. I'm not going to upgrade that because it's too expensive. And I think the money's better spent on the herd. Meanwhile, but we can get the rune cover growth, so we're immediately going to grab that. And the reason we're going to grab that is because we can then upgrade our herdstone, and that's going to allow us to recruit Gore Herd, Tuskor Chariots, and Harpies. So already we're starting to get better units. You see? I think this works better than the Tomb King version, where it feels like it takes a long time for the Tomb Kings to get anything other than skeletons.
A quest has been issued, mighty lord.
Oh, there you are.
Great adventure beckons.
I wonder where you've gone to.
Though, for while the potential rewards are
you
great,
hanging around schools again? Go on, back in your box, creepy old bastard. Right, we've got the Icons of Vilification, which will give us 500 dread. Ooh. Hero capacity for Bray Shamans, hero recruit rank for Bray Shamans, Horde growth. Now that would be quite nice. The dread would be quite nice. The money would be nice. To be honest, all of this, I'm kind of looking at the icons and going, well, I can, I can take or leave them, but the money and the dread certainly would be very nice. But that army is quite nasty, so I'm probably not going to be doing that right this instance. Let's go and pick up Miley Cyrus. Probably lying in a gutter somewhere. Oh yeah, we've got all the units, haven't we? Ungol Raiders, get rid of them. Right, in you come. Alright, let's continue on. So, Scarbrand.
Confuse our dealings with amity.
Are you still being a knob? Come on, mate. Chill the fuck out. Come on, Scarbrand. We could be friends, Scarbrand. Let's be friends. Also, this gives us more of a garrison, so that's starting to look a little bit more beefy, which is great. But we're not going to build anything there. Not yet. We're not doing a party yet. We've got 20 party points. But that's not enough. We need more. It needs to be a better party. Ooh, the Dark Moon. Morsleb is ascendant, usurping the sun's revered place in the firmament. The world is awash with a sick and terrible hue. Such an event is almost unheard of. It is a call to the Beastmen, a sign that the herd has an opportunity to dominate. Lead them, Beast Lord. Seize glory. So we get 4 options. When one falls, that will give us instant replenishment. We'll also get 30% bonus for ruination of rituals of ruin. We'll also get income from post-battle loot and Chaos Undivided Corruption. Endless Herd will give us raiding income, but also big horde growth. +5, very nice. And also the same. Cost of skill will reduce the dread cost for Giants, Chaos Spawn, Gore Herd, and Gore Herd with shields, and Beastly Inclination will increase our melee attack and weapon strength by ludicrous amounts for 3 turns. We'll get 15 melee attack and 30% weapon strength for every unit in our army. Now that is nice, and I've just noticed we've got a Ghoul King army. However, I kind of feel like maybe going for the Horde growth. Oh, I'm really tempted to go for the Horde. I kind of want to go for the Beastly Inclination, but I think we're going for the Horde growth. Okay, that's a fairly scary army, but if we move up within range of the Fire Festival, then we can save it from these party poopers. Oh my god, they want to poop on my party. The bastards. It's fine. We can poop back at the... How much growth do we have per turn? Core 9, characters 2. So, I mean, plus 16 is pretty good. We get a growth point every... When do we need a level 3? Okay, we need 3 growth, so we'll get that in 1 turn. And that we'll need then 7,000. Maybe we'll get some money from these losers. Rude. Okay, now the hidden encampment is an ambush stance. So, are they going to come in? Are they going to spot us? I don't think they will. I think they'll attack. Let's find out. Okay, we didn't come, but we will come in and reinforce. It'll take us almost 2 minutes to reinforce. That's a long time, but the garrison should be able to hold out for that length of time. So we're going to crush these gate crashers, but that's going to have to wait till next time. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.